Howdy friends, welcome to Mower Mics and welcome to my generator series. Yeah, this is a lawnmower channel, but today we are talking generators. It's like 130 degrees, it's July down in Texas. It is hot. So what I got here is a sweet backup generator to run our air conditioning. I got it off Amazon. It's an orange, I think it's a 1.21 gigawatt version, and this thing is awesome. I did a whole separate video on running and how to cheaply power the whole panel of your house. It runs the entire house, the AC. It is sweet, but this is a $1,300 generator off Amazon. And when you buy a $1,300, 1,200 or 1 point whatever gigawatt generator, it is loud, people. I mean, this thing rips, but it is loud. I mean, it's waking up the whole neighborhood. And today I just want to attempt to build a generator box that will silence it down. Because when this thing's running, you piss off all the neighbors. Trust me, down here in Texas, when that hurricane hits, it sounds like a damn factory going when you get 70 generators going at the same time. So I want to quiet it down. And also it'd be nice to try to hide this orange turd so nobody steals it out of my driveway. And if you're like me, you've gone through some generator box building videos on the YouTube. And I am just blown away by the ingenuity and the engineering going into some of these boxes these guys are building. Because personally, they are way too complicated for me to ever try to build something like that. This is a lawnmower channel. I am not a woodworker. So what I did is I thought, how could I do it, just being an average Joe, to build a generator box very, very cheaply with a super, super simple design. So what I did, I turned on the ADHD part of my brain, and then I opened up the Amazon, and those two came together with my cheapskate self, and I think we came up with an awesome, simple, safe design that's not gonna hurt your generator. So the way I'm gonna approach it is a three-sided design. And what that benefit does, it's gonna give us an open side just to allow it easy on, easy off. Also gives it a lot of airflow, give it somewhere for the exhaust to go. What I've got here is, look at that. This is just the structure of it. So this is my idea. You know, easy on, easy off. That way we can slide it around. I got some wheels on it. And you know, the other thing I want to do is that I don't want to spend any money on this. So what I've done, as you can see, I've just scrapped together wood I have found around the shop, around the backyard. I got myself a pallet. We got old boards. So I did not buy any wood for this project. I did buy on Amazon some sound deadening material, some boom mats, some different things to try to sound deaden this thing down. So with that, let's go ahead and have some fun, and I'm gonna show you step by step how we scrap this thing together. I'm not gonna show you every screw job I do because that will just be boring or exciting. I don't know, whatever does your thing. So with that, let's go ahead and we're gonna zoom in and start building a generator box. Stay with me. All right, take 47. The first key to our super cool generator project is to build ourselves a foundation. That's what all this is gonna be based on. We need a super well-built foundation for this little slidey thing. Now, as you can see here, what I've got, I've scavenged some wood out of the shop attic. And you can see these are very old 2x4s, and we got 2x3s it looks like for the sides, but for the base I've got the larger 2x4s. They're probably about 30 years old. And all we're doing is building ourselves a square with an open side, because that's where we're gonna slide it over the generator, just with right angles. And for measurements, for this generator, I just went for straight 36 by 36 to keep it simple. I think 36 by 36 is gonna be a little fatter than needed, but I think it's really important to have enough room on the side of the generator, because we're gonna have a 50 amp RV cord plugging into the side of it. So I wanna make sure we get enough room, and also a little extra room for some ventilation. Now, one thing you have to realize is that Mower Mike is not a woodworker. This is not woodworking Mike. So what I'm using is I'm employing every cheat thing I could do to make this project simpler. For example, what we've got here, we've got 3-inch L brackets off Amazon. I've got like a pack of 20 of these, super cheap. They're stainless steel. And this is gonna help us keep that right angle at 90 degrees. And also, you know, a lot of people with a fancy woodworking, they do that sideways screwing thing. And I am just not a sideways screwer. So what this is gonna allow us to do is just keep that screwing straight on and keep it right at that 45-degree angle. That way we're not all off canter. So we're gonna have these brackets in the corners. Plus I got 3-inch big old screws here. Spax screws I found in the shop. You can actually buy those online too, made in America. So we've got 3-inch screws. We've got the 90-degree L brackets. So this should give us plenty of support, at least to start. Also, I want to show you something super cool I found on the Amazon. Is look at this. We've got low profile casters here. So with those low profile casters, you can see they've got little locks on them, and this is gonna allow us to do, we've only got 1 inch off the ground. It's gonna give us a little more airflow underneath, and also just gives us that ability to move it around without picking it up. So wheels always make things better. All right, so we've got our box, and next we're gonna figure out how to start building it a little taller. So stay with me. I just want to walk you through the structure I've built real quick. I tell you what, these L brackets made it super easy. As you see that with the L bracket, I can come across flush. That way we have a flush top on the top. Everything's 36 inches wide. They just have those L brackets holding each corner, made it super easy. So you can see right here, we've got it set up, and it's just gonna roll up over our generator like so. I think we've got a good plan here. My next step is that I have collected across the yard, across my attic, all sorts of random pieces of wood. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put wood on the outside of my box, and we're gonna see how that goes. I do have a planer, so hopefully we can make these a little smoother. So I'm gonna get to work, and the next shot you'll see what I come up with. So stay with me. I just want to show y'all one of the coolest tools I have. It's a little surface planer here. It's a 10-inch surface planer. And what it allows you to do is you take old crappy wood like this, shove it in there. Look at that. And it takes the top layer of the wood off. It makes that old crappy wood look brand new. That is going to make our box look super slick and like I know what I'm doing. All right, let's go back inside and start screwing this thing together. I got it. All right, welcome back. Let's take a look at the completed box. Now, as I told you earlier several times, I am not a carpenter. And when I look at this completed box, I see very poor craftsmanship. I mean, it looks awful. It looks like I didn't use a level. I sure didn't use a square. It doesn't even look like I used a tape measure. Everything's different. When you look at my said box, I used different wood for each corner of the box. The top, I had some old wood from my patio. This is actually slatted cedar planks. Over here, we've got some wood I stole from my buddy Mike's house. He had a wood pile in the back. I think these are all floorboards. We've got sliced up cedar down here. I've got some wood I found in my backyard. These are 2x6s I planed over. Over here, we got some various 2x6s. We've got some other wood I stole from a neighbor. So I have successfully built a box, and I have built a box without actually buying any wood, just using scraps. So we have gotten that far. Now I am gonna preach up this box a little bit. I've got some cedar slats. We're gonna try to build a little trim around the edges so we can hide all my box's imperfections. So the next step of what we're gonna do, we're gonna start insulating this box. Now to insulate it, I've got several different things here. We're gonna start with something I call Chukubi, some sort of Chinese brand. But what this is insulation they use on cars. So it peels off here and it's sticky on one side. What they do, they use this for like stereo boxes and different things. So this will be my first layer of sound insulation, and then we're gonna do another layer when you come back. So let me go ahead and we're gonna start sticking this stuff on the inside, and then we're gonna show you what it looks like, and then we're gonna try something else. So stay with me. All right, let's have some goofy fun with a sound test with the generator. Now, I've got my Generac right here. First, I want to address a safety issue. Positioning of a generator, especially one this size, is very important because this sucker is puffing a lot of exhaust out the back end of her. So you always want to point it away from any inhabited buildings. And you can see right here, we've got my house right here. You don't want to point it towards the house because it could suck it up through those soffits. We don't want to do that. So you can see right here, I'm pointing it out. I've got lots of room between me and the fence so nothing catches on fire. Now, my setup, this is a 12,000 gigabyte, kilowatt, whatever generator. It creates a lot of juice, but also creates a lot of sound. And the way I've got it set up here, we've got ourselves a 50 amp RV cable plugged into the RV outlet, all off Amazon, safely wired into the panel. It is charging my entire house. I've got a whole separate video on how to do that with the interlock, with the kits, all the good stuff, and a generator test. We'll put a link down below, but that's not what we're talking about today. Today we're talking about sound. So my first test, what I'm gonna do, we're gonna put what I'm gonna call the doghouse over the generator. Look at that, that looks a little better than last time you saw her. We've got a little trim on there. We've got ourselves a little satin finish. I tell you what, looks pretty good for a white boy done in honey. She hates me say that. Anyways, so our first test, we're just gonna slide the doghouse over the generator and see how low the decibels come. What is that delta? Second test, we're gonna hit it the inside of the doghouse with the rubber matting that we talked about. We're gonna measure the decibels again, see if this makes any difference. Third test, we're gonna put the even thicker insulating fireproof stuff on there. So now to do this officially, it is amazing the crap you can buy on the Amazon. What we've got here is a decibel meter. I'm gonna shut up for a second so we can get a true reading. All right. Silence is at 40 decibels. Let's crank this thing on and see how much noise the old Generac makes. Actually, we went from 40 decibels upwards to 90 decibels. So again, that is a noisy generator. So first test again, we're just slide the doghouse over the top of it. Now what's really cool, I didn't realize that with those rollers on it, you can have wires going underneath it. So for example, look at that, we can have it plugged in, slide over. Look at that. So they're not even reading the gauge, I already can tell it changed pitch. So the pitch came down a little bit. I tell you what folks, we just lost 5 decibels with no insulation. I tell you what, that is a win. That looks pretty good. So stay tuned. I'm gonna go ahead and take these things on the inside and see if it makes any difference at all. Stay with me. All right, gang, let me show off my soundproofing I did here on the dog box. Look at this. That looks so good, doesn't it? What it is just a pure rubber padding that comes off in those sticky pads. I did 2 wide, about 3 tall on each side. Each side is 3 foot by 3 foot. So this is a 36 square foot set, which I had a little extra where I doubled up on some areas like right there where you're gonna get a little more noise, but it just fit perfect. It was super clean. It was actually a lot of fun to do. I'll put a link down below. I think it was about $48. So for under 50 bucks, we're gonna soundproof the piss out of this thing. So let's go ahead and see if this makes any difference at all and get below that 84 decibels. All right, let's do the test with the upgraded doghouse. We've got all of our butanol rubber insulation on the inside. We're gonna see if it makes any difference bringing it down below that 83, 84 decibel mark. Crank that noisy bastard back up. Now, I ain't gonna lie, putting that rubber on the inside of the doghouse definitely made her a little fat. This thing is quite a bit heavier than it was before. But with those wheels, you can see we can still roll it up on there. Oh, all right, here we go. I ain't gonna lie, it does sound like it has a little bit more of a muffled factor to it. Let's see what the decibel meter reads. Uh-oh. So we're at 83. I'm not sure if the doghouse made any difference at all, but I tell you what folks, it does look a lot better. I'm gonna do one more test with the temperature to make sure that box is not gonna overheat our generator in hiding. Stay with me. All right, folks, it is time to kill this video. I did do one final test. I wanted to run a temperature test to see the temperature difference from inside the box with that generator running for about 30 minutes versus the outside. And I'm running about 100 degrees inside the box. It's about 90 outside. So we've got about a 10-degree temperature difference versus the ambient, which is totally acceptable. With a Generac generator like this, you don't want to go, 20 to 30 to 40 degrees over ambient temperature because you don't want to get in that 130, 130 plus temperature, 130 degrees inside your box, because you don't want that generator to overheat. But with all the airflow I've got coming from underneath and the giant gaping hole on our fourth side of the box, ventilation is not an issue. So, all right, what do I really think about the generator box? Well, the positives on the box. First of all, it looks great. I mean, you don't even know you have a generator. People walking down the street are not going to know you have the generator. You know, we get a lot of traffic from the RV park walking down the street. A lot of looky-loos, I like to say. So they're not even going to know I got this generator. So hopefully it'll stay in my driveway and not walk off on me. Also, it looks great. I mean, it looks good. It is definitely better looking than a giant generator in your driveway. But let's talk about sound. The reason I bought the box was to, or built the box was to try to bring the sound decibels down, and it kind of did. All right, the best I got was 7 to 8 decibels decrease in sound, which it did change the pitch, but honestly, I wouldn't build a box like this for sound deadening. I honestly, like, if you want sound deadening, get the sound deadening generator itself that's already built in the generator, because I just don't think it's going to work, you know. And can you add additional sound deadening material to it? Yes, you can, but is it going to work? What I found out is no. And the reason why, again, is because we've got this giant freaking hole on one side. And also, what I found out is that when you add sound deadening material inside of here, it makes this box much, much more heavy, harder to push around. So if I was gonna do it, I would just keep it very, very simple. Just do a wood box, forget all the sound deadening material, just try to church it up a little bit and, you know, take the edge off, make it look better. So with that, I am done doing generator videos. To be honest with you, my original plan was to build a much more complicated box. I spent like $400 on crap and fans, but folks, it's just a generator, and you're not gonna bring down that sound decibel too much without making some very complicated contraptions with all sorts of crap. That's my 2 cents. I'm out. We're gonna get back to lawnmower engines because I've got a sweet new FR730 to play around with and swap out that FR691V. I'm out here. See you next time.